Hi, I'm Jason, and today I'm going to talk about first aid kits. When I started out backpacking, I carried probably the most monstrous first aid kit that you could imagine. It was about this big, probably weighed a pound, carried all kinds of things I didn't need, like big splints and forceps and things I didn't even know how to use. Over the years, I've kind of pared down to this. This is a 2.5 ounce kit. In my mind, it carries everything I need and nothing I don't. So today I thought it'd be fun just to kind of go through this and look at some of the things I carry, and hopefully on my blog some of you guys can post some of the things you carry, see if there's anything I'm missing. So I house it in an Aloksak bag. This is a waterproof bag, and it's pretty easy to get in and out of. I like it because it's clear, so I can find that little bag of pills or something like that that I need. So it's pretty convenient. So let's just take things out one by one and see what I've got here. This is a small bag of pills. In here I basically carry aspirin and ibuprofen. Anyone who hikes at altitude knows that these can come in handy, or if you ever get a quick little sprain or something like that, it's always good to have some kind of pain reliever on hand. Also I've carried some Pepto-Bismol tablets. For any of those of you who eat Mountain House freeze-dried meals, you know that those can come in handy. So that's my assortment of drugs right there. Of course, I've got a good assortment of different Band-Aids. So most of them are just your average kind of finger type. I've got some butterfly ones and some different shape ones there for that. I've got a sewing kit in here too. Now my first aid kit is a combination of first aid for my body, but also first aid for my gear. So I carry my sewing kit in my first aid pack, and it's just got some needles, different types of thread, a needle threader, a few buttons, safety pins, things like that. I bought this at Walgreens, I think, for $1.99, something like that. But definitely has come in handy. If you've seen some of my other videos when I'm sewing a strap back on my pack, then you know that that can come in handy. I've got some Sting Relief, just in case I get stung by a bee or a stinging nettle or other nasty things out there. It's nice to have something that can kind of take the edge off. I think probably the most important thing in my first aid kit to me is blister pads. I've got a bunch of Dr. Scholl's blister pads, different shapes and sizes. These really have saved the day for me on a number of occasions. I remember one time I was hiking in Canyonlands National Park, and I got a really bad blister just because we had to cross a stream. My feet got wet, and this really came in handy. I wouldn't have been able to hike out of there if it weren't for these. So, again, first aid for my gear. I've got some seam seal and repair tape and patches for my inflatable sleeping pad. That's always good to have. I've got another patch of repair tape. As you can see, I've used a little square of this one time when I got a hole in the floor of my tent. So this comes in handy. And just in case, I've got some big gauze pads. So that's for like a big wound, something like that. Hopefully I never have to use that kind of stuff. And I never have so far, but you know, it's nice to have it if you need it. It weighs almost nothing, so why not carry it? And then of course I've got the quintessential flat pack duct tape. So I can use this in multiple ways. You know, it's gear repair. I can also use it if I need to secure my gauze pad to a large wound or something like that. Duct tape speaks for itself. It just always comes in handy. You always want to be with it. So that's what I carry in my first aid kit. And like I said, you know, over the years I've carried all kinds of stuff, never used it, and just kind of pared it down, and this is really all I feel I need. In a really, really desperate situation, I feel confident enough that I could improvise and come up with something that, you know, maybe I'm not carrying. But for 2.5 ounces, I feel that this is a pretty comprehensive pack. So let's see what's in your first aid kit.